Welcome back to Breaking Bias channel. Today we're diving into the pay gap between NBA and WNBA players. You've probably heard about this disparity before, but let's break it down and explore why this gap exists and what factors contribute to it. Let's start with the numbers. The NBA player earns around $9.6 million per year. Meanwhile, the WNBA player makes between $102,000 to $130,000 per year. That's a massive difference. But why? Let's take a closer look. Now, here's where things start to make sense. The NBA generates approximately $10 billion in annual revenue. In comparison, the WNBA brings in about $60 million per year. That's more than 160 times the revenue. Simply put, the NBA has a much larger pool of money to pay its players. Another key factor is viewership and attendance. NBA games draw significantly larger crowds and TV audiences. For example, the NBA averages about 18,000 fans per game, while the WNBA averages around 6,000. Higher attendance and viewership lead to more ticket sales, more sponsorship deals, and larger media contracts, all of which translate into higher player salaries. An important point to mention is revenue sharing. Both NBA and WNBA players get roughly 50% of their league's revenue under their collective bargaining agreements. So the real issue here isn't unfair revenue sharing. It's that the total revenue in the WNBA is much smaller to begin with. So when we talk about the pay gap between the NBA and WNBA, it's not just about gender, it's about market size. The NBA generates more money, so players are paid more. But that doesn't mean the WNBA players aren't fighting for more. They're advocating for fairer treatment in terms of working conditions, travel standards, and better media deals to help grow the league. If you think this gap needs to close, you can make a difference. Support the WNBA by attending games, watching broadcasts, and amplifying women's sports. The more we show up, the more revenue the league will generate, and the better pay WNBA players will receive. Together, we can push for equity in all aspects of sports.